All right. So I guess now you understand what the plan was.
Absolutely. At Colts Law, we talk Indianapolis Colts football.
We're going to stick to what we know, fundamentals and technique, 1% better every day.
What's going on, Colts Nation? I'm Lawrence Owen, and I'm here by myself today as Loyalist, my co-host. This winter storm that is seeing, around -10 temperatures and -30 to 40 degrees wind chill factor. He lost his power and his heat. So he is busy getting himself and his family in a situation where they can be safe. Good luck and prayers to you and your family. For the rest of you out there that is watching this, I hope that all of you are doing well as well during this really bad time. I know that, right now I'm having a hard time heating my own home because the winds are so bad that it's just blowing the cold air through every nick and cranny that my house has to offer. So I hope each of you are good. But we're going to get into exactly what, I wanted to get into, and that's a few things, right? About this, the game coming up. Speed, hope your cat came back safe. No, I have not seen or heard from him yet. I'm honestly hoping that he has a second home somewhere that, he could find a nice warm spot because he has not came home yet. He's been out since 6 o'clock this morning. So, but thanks for asking. The Indianapolis Colts right now announced earlier this week that Nick Foles, Jeff Saturday said Nick Foles would be starting not just over Matt Ryan, but Sam Ehlinger as well. As Sam Ehlinger today, he stated, would be the backup against the Los Angeles Chargers this Monday night. Now, as many of you know, the Indianapolis Colts right now are 3-0 against that, AFC West, and it's the only bright side, I could say, really, to this entire season, is they legitimately have a shot at sweeping that division. Obviously, they got to beat them to do so, and if they don't, that's going to make a lot of people happy. If they do, it'll make a lot of people happy because it shows a little bit of fire left in them. So it's really kind of a mixed bag. Obviously, the Colts, the players, the coaches, they want to win this game. It's all about their paychecks. They don't care about, who's getting drafted next year because, they may not even be on the team next year. So why would they care who's being drafted? It's about them putting out the best product on tape for the field so that they can actually make better money on their next contracts and whoever else they sell with. Basil in here with a Merry Christmas. Hey, Merry Christmas to you as well. I will be doing a live stream this Sunday on a game. I don't know which one. Live game reaction. It'll be one of them. Ain't figured out which one yet. It'll be kind of my Christmas gift to you guys, hang out and watch a game. But Merry Christmas for a lot of you out there, and for the rest of you, happy holidays, whichever holiday it is that you're celebrating. But Nick Foles is interesting. And Jeff Saturday stated that he wanted more explosive plays. And, Matt Ryan just wasn't providing those. And a lot of people were asking, well, was it Matt Ryan or was it the play call? So I dove into the all-22 over the last 2 weeks against the the Vikings and the Cowboys. And I looked. There were explosive plays to be had in both those games. It seems about 75% of the plays that were called, that were pass plays, had at least somebody just running a go route. Generally, it was whoever was the X out there on the wide right. They were running a go route. Generally, it was either Michael Pittman Jr. or Alec Pierce. I did not see as much go routes by Paris Campbell. Paris seems to run a lot of posts, hooks, curls, drags, things of that nature. But it is interesting. The play calls are there. There have been times when there was opportunities that he did not take. He threw the ball a little quick, didn't let other routes develop, even if there was tight one-on-one coverage. He would still take that quick throw. If he saw one-on-one, he trusted generally Michael Pittman Jr. to make one-on-one contested catches. Even if he had time to sit back and let other routes develop, he would still throw those quick outs to him or to another guy who, and in my opinion, that kind of kills your offense a little bit if you're not taking deep shots. Now, he did take 2 deep shots on the Vikings. One of them, of course, many of you remember, both of them legitimately were the tight ends, one to Kylan Granson, one to Jelani Woods. Both of them made the catches. Now, looks like Kylan won't be playing. He's got that ankle, has not practiced yet this week. As of yesterday and today, has not practiced. So we may be without Kylan Granson this week. So that's not a good thing because he's one of our more explosive playmakers, believe it or not. One of our more, utility kind of guys. Someone who can legitimately block and go out and make big plays in the pass game. Nick Foles, however, now, obviously we haven't seen Nick Foles through the season yet this year. So that's the thing. I'll talk about that in just a moment. I just need to, re-verify this right here. Antonio Dela Cruz talks about, there's no point in winning. It only hurts right now. That's his fans. But players on the team, the coaches on the team, they don't feel that way. They don't feel that way. They're going to go out there and try to win because they give a rat's butt behind on who the Colts draft because they may or may not even be on the team next year, right? Their bottom line is their pocketbook. Their bottom line is their paycheck. And if they go out there and tank, then that's going to show up on tape and they're going to get less money on the next contract, whether it's here or at another place. They're not going to get paid as much. They need to go out there and make big plays and win games. So, for a lot of fans out there, taking is a legitimate thing. But for coaches who are trying to stay on the team, think about this. All the coaches on this team, if the Colts tank, we get a new coach, they want to be, legitimately justified in possibly gaining a position in the new regime. And if they tank out and they look bad, they're not going to get that job, And if they tank out and look bad, it's going to hurt their, options of getting a job elsewhere in the NFL as well. Players and coaches both do not tank, period, for any reason. I'm just letting you know that up front. I've had to say this multiple times to a lot of people. But, I do understand why, to fans, tanking is a thing. But I've talked to too many coaches, too many players, and I've realized that it's not real. It's legit. The 2011 season, the Colts did not tank that year. They tried to win games. Heck, they almost fell out of the first pick of the draft, remember? So, by winning at the end of the year, where a lot of Colts fans got a little ticked off about that. They don't, tanking is not a real thing in the NFL because they're wanting to make money. But Nick Foles, back to him. Like I said earlier, I haven't really seen much of him during the regular season. Now, obviously, he hasn't played. But I did get a long, good look at him during preseason, during training camp. Okay. While I was at the preseason games and training camp and I was watching him play, and watching him practice, he still has a cannon for an arm. He still has a very beautiful ball that he delivers. okay, he can still make the big time plays downfield. He could throw with touch and he could throw with a rocket. There's one downfall to Nick Foles. And I think this is the biggest downfall that he's had in his entire career. His awareness, his pocket awareness is not very good. Okay. He'll sometimes hold on to the ball way too long and not realize where the pressure is coming from to get rid of the ball before he's hit. Okay. So Nick Foles is a quarterback. You want a very good offensive line system around. Now, that's a mixed bag. For the most part, the Colts offensive line hasn't played very well this year. But on the positive note, since Jeff Saturday's been back, the offensive line has looked better and better and better week after week after week. Their best game, legitimately, was this past week against the Vikings. The only time, really, that Matt Ryan has been hit, hurried, or pressured wasn't because of a failure of a specific player on the offensive line. It was because of an overload, and there was too many rushers to too little blockers, right? The Vikings did that a lot. The Cowboys did that. The Eagles did that a lot. We've seen quite a bit of that. The Colts have seen more blitzes in the last 4 weeks than any other team in the NFL. So, again, I understand why Matt Ryan was getting rid of the ball quickly, because he was seeing blitzes and ghosts at every turn. But at some point, you have to stretch the field, because if that threat of stretching the field is not there, then there's not a reason not to blitz. You might as well blitz every stinking down. I think Nick Foles is going to give us that opportunity to throw downfield a little bit. Okay. He's got the size, the strength, the arm strength, the accuracy, all that to do that. Nathan, 808, what's up, guy? Appreciate you being in here. He's got a good question here. He says, do you think it'd be a good idea to keep Ryan as a backup to help a rookie quarterback? I think Nick Foles would be a better option at that. He'd be much cheaper. Foles has been around the league a long time, has been around a lot of different offensive coordinators, quarterback coaches, things of that nature. He's got the experience. I think Foles would be a much cheaper and a good option in that situation. Now, Matt Ryan will teach anybody how to be a professional, okay? But Matt Ryan will cost $28 million. If Matt Ryan retires, that's going to save the Colts $28 million. Holding on to Nick Foles for a season. Matter of fact, I think we have Nick Foles already for 2 years. I think he signed a 2-year contract. So I don't see a reason to keep Matt Ryan around. I really don't. But I that's a good question. That is a good question. Actually, this is a good one right here. We was talking about Gardner Minshew last offseason before the Colts signed Matt Ryan, traded for Matt Ryan. I liked Gardner Minshew. I just knew that the team that he was on wasn't going to let him go because of the style and type of quarterback they had as their starter. They needed him as a backup, right? And it's come to fruition. He's had to play because of that. So I don't see Gardner being an option for the Colts next year. I wouldn't mind it. I just think he's going to get an extension with the team that he's already on. But I think the wide receivers and the tight ends have been pretty good all season. They've been getting a lot of separation. Now, Michael Pittman Jr. has not been as much of the surefire guy this year for the Colts. He's had some drops. He's had some fumbles. And then, of course, Alec Pierce has had his, rookie mistakes, his drops, his fumbles, things of that nature. Paris Campbell's been a freaking stud, absolute stud out there. I think he's 9th in the NFL in yards separation and leads the entire wide receiver group in catch percentage, right? Paris Campbell's been the stud. He hasn't been getting the targets that other receivers like Michael Pittman Jr. has, but that could change. Again, Matt Ryan had a thing for Michael Pittman Jr. We all knew this. He threw it to Michael Pittman Jr. 14 times in the Vikings game, and the next closest target ratio was 4. Okay? When other guys were open, he wasn't even under pressure, he would throw the quick out to Michael Pittman Jr. Nick Foles might spread the ball around a little bit more because he hasn't had time to gain that trust in one specific guy. All right. So he may just be looking for the open guy, go through his progressions, find the open person and throw it to him. God, I hope so. It would be nice to see that go on for once this year. We've seen it twice all year long. Twice. I want to see it a lot more than that. All right. That's just my thought. But it is Wyatt comes in here, says, I heard another Colts podcaster say he'd trade for Jordan Love in a heartbeat. Any thoughts, Lawrence? In my opinion, Jordan Love, you're going to get the same. I think Jordan Love is probably on par with your top 2 options at quarterback in this draft. The only difference is Jordan Love has sat for 2 years under Aaron Rodgers to learn a little bit and watch. So maybe. We haven't seen a ton from Jordan Love. We've seen a little bit last year. We saw a little bit this year. One game, he's looked good. The rest of the games, he has not looked good. But in all honesty, I have no faith in any of the quarterbacks in this draft. I don't think any of them are day one starters. I don't think any of them are guaranteed franchise quarterbacks. And when I say franchise, I'm not talking about top 5. There's not a damn one of them in this draft class that'll be a top 5 quarterback in the NFL. When I say franchise quarterback, I mean a top 15 quarterback. Okay? I don't know if any of them in this will make it. Right? All of them have things that they really need to work on in order to get there. There are some options in the NFL right now. The only stipulation for me when it comes to a trade is I don't want a quarterback over 30. I want a quarterback that has at least 5, 6, 7 years left in him. Okay? I don't want to have to go through this quarterback carousel anymore. If you could get a little stability for at least 5 years at the quarterback position, it don't even have to be a top 5 guy, top 15 quarterback, for 5 years. Give your franchise time to go through some drafts and maybe find that next guy. Okay. And a lot of you say, well, what about, what about Sam Ellinger? And a lot of people have a big thing for Sam Ellinger. Look, Sam Ellinger has improved dramatically from his rookie year to this year. I will give him that. He is still not a starter in the NFL. Okay. That's from what I saw in preseason, training camp, and the 2 games that I watched. Okay. There were a ton of situations where he has happy feet. He takes off. He has to get outside the pocket to be able to see guys open down certain lanes down the field. There's just situations I don't like. Now, could he end up being a starting quarterback? He's improved dramatically from his rookie to the second. So in 3 or 4 years, there's a good possibility he could be a starting caliber quarterback in the NFL. Keep him on the roster. Keep developing him. I mean, that's my option. Do I want to keep him on to say, hey, let's start him next year and forget about, going out and getting a quarterback this offseason? Hell no. Okay. I don't want to go through a year like we've had this past year. I just don't. Okay. I'm a fan. Yes. I'm an analyst. Yes. Okay. I want to see my team win. Do I want to sit here and look at my team and go, good Lord, we have 4 wins all freaking year? Yay. No fan wants to sit here and clap and celebrate that they have 4 wins on the season, And I got a feeling that's about what we'd get with Sam Ehlinger right now. I don't think he's ready to be in the fire for it. Now, like I said, there are some quarterbacks out there that the Colts could trade for to get for a few years, right? Again, Gardner Minshew is one of those guys. Okay, I think he is a guy. A certain Baker Mayfield has been thrown around. I don't think the Colts have interest. I think the Colts have interest. I think that this past offseason, the Browns wanted too damn much for him. Okay. And then by the time he was released, we already had Matt Ryan. Okay. Would we go get Baker? I don't know. If Lamar Jackson is not freaking signed or tagged by the Ravens, which I fully expect him to at least be tagged by the Ravens, go throw the book. Go throw your book at him. All right. He's a top 5 quarterback in the NFL. Is he a top 5 passer in the NFL? No, but with his legs, he is a top 5 football player, period. Now, you will need a viable backup, which is why you would keep Nick Foles in on under him, just in case he does have an ankle injury or something of that nature and he's out a couple weeks. I understand that. You need a viable backup with a guy like, Lamar Jackson sitting behind you. That's why they have, was it Tyler Huntley, right? Over there. I think Tyler Huntley is a viable backup for their system. I don't know if Tyler is a great backup for every system, but he's a good backup for their system. And that's how I see it. But there's things to do. We definitely need to get in the market for a quarterback this offseason, no doubt. I don't want Matt Ryan starting. I'm praying that he retires. Maybe he retires and becomes a quarterback's coach. That'd be cool. Let's get rid of Milanovic and put Matt Ryan at quarterback's coach. That'd be a good one. Or put Phil Rivers at I don't know if I'd want Phil Rivers at quarterback coach because his release isn't that great. And I don't want him teaching other quarterbacks how to release the football like this, So, but Matt Ryan has perfect form when it comes to throwing a football. And when he was younger, he knew how to get rid of the football, his accuracy, knew how to get through progressions, things of that nature. So, yeah. But, well, yeah, he's going to want to get paid. Okay? Absolutely, Lamar's going to want to get paid. He's going to want at least $40 million a year. We just paid $28 million a year for, what is he? He's dead last quarterback in the NFL right now when it comes to starting full time. $28 million a year. I'll give 40, especially with the upcoming draft. Even 45, I'd give him 45 mil a year. We're getting more money due to the ad returns for the NFL. We'll have the money. I'm just saying. Will we be able to go out and get extra people if we go get him? Probably not. It'd be difficult to do that and sign a legitimate quarterback right now. But that's what happens when you go buy a quarterback. You're hoping to buy. When you pay that kind of money, you're paying for, what you're getting, right? You know what you're getting. Drafting a quarterback is a crapshoot. Even if you like him a lot, it's still a crapshoot. How many guys have went in the top 5 in the last 10 years for quarterback and have not worked out? Quite a few. Quite a few. So, it is a crapshoot out there. We got a guy over there with the Jets right now that was barely able to put 3 points up on the Jaguars, right? On Thursday Night Football last night. Wasn't he picked number 1 overall? Or number 2? I can't remember exactly last year's draft. But still. Or the draft that he was drafted in anyhow. But yeah, I'm excited. What's this, Dennis? Oh. Let's not pull it in. You're amen to that one, Love. D Love, let's not. Yeah, I don't want to. I get that, but I want to get someone who's guaranteed, right? Like, here's the thing. I said at the beginning of the year, I didn't think Russell Wilson was worth that kind of money. He sure as hell wasn't worth everything they traded plus the contract, okay? I'm not saying go out and trade and then sign a guy to a monster deal. That's dumb, okay? That's just dumb. The only time the Colts have done that is for a guaranteed guy, and that was DeForest Buckner when they sent a first-round pick and then signed him to a $20 million a year contract. He's been worth every penny. I mean, this dude is double-teamed every single down and still makes plays, So, the DeForest is my guy. I love DeForest. Guys, if you're still here, man, we're 26 minutes in. Appreciate you guys. Make sure that you hit that like button. I'd appreciate that. You can hit the share button as well. Just to let you know, Loyalist cannot make it because he's not here today because, the winter weather here in Indiana. We've got 30-plus mile-an-hour winds, wind chill factor of -40. All right. His power went out. His power and his heat. He no longer has power, no electricity, no heat in his house. So he's at home he's somewhere right now trying to figure out how to keep himself and his family warm and safe. So prayers out to you, my guy. I hope that you're able to do that. And I hope everything works out good for you. I don't know. Okay. I don't know if I would put Stafford as a bust yet. Okay. I think Stafford played pretty good last year. He played damn good with the Lions. I think it's a situation. I think Stafford's in a bad situation right now because he lost his. I don't understand why the Rams didn't re-sign I understand that they didn't want to re-sign Odell because he got hurt, but Odell was that guy to Stafford, right? I mean, he was. But it's funny. You go look at the last two everybody's like, well, scrambling quarterbacks is what wins Super Bowls. Really? Who won the last two Super Bowls? Stafford and Brady. Neither of them were scrambling quarterbacks. Right? So that's not necessarily true. You could still win and win big, win the ultimate prize with a pocket quarterback in today's NFL. You just need weapons around them. And that's just facts, right? That is true right there. It was worth getting Stafford because they won the Super Bowl. But I would think against the Chargers, we sat here. I think it's a good opportunity. Obviously, I think Foles is going to provide a little bit of opportunity for offense. I mean, he's practiced all week with the ones. The Chargers have no film on Foles with this team, which is nice. So they don't really know how to really prepare. They have to prepare like they're preparing for Matt Ryan. And I think Nick Foles will light them up downfield if they prepare like they're playing for Matt Ryan. My scare is is not the defense. Now, look, you got the injury report. And like I said, Kylan Granson probably won't play. He hasn't practiced all week due to that ankle injury that he suffered during the game last week. Kenny Moore, also dealing with that ankle injury, has not practiced all week. Brandon Faison is back from illness. He's practiced all week. That's awesome. Mike Strawn is back from concussion, full practice all week. That's awesome. Okay. So we're going to have, outside of Kylan Granson, a healthy offense. Having Kenny Moore missing is not going to be as big a deal because of the type of receivers that the Chargers have, right? Keenan Allen. Now, Kenny Moore is more the guy against Keenan Allen because he's the older, wily veteran that runs routes, right? And route running kills young cornerbacks like Isaiah Rodgers, okay? Heck, it killed Stephon Gilmore last week at the goal line. Granted, it was Justin Jefferson, and Justin Jefferson put a clinic on when it came to route running right there at the end zone. It was nasty. Me and Rodney McLeod and Gerard Powers was talking about earlier this week on Believe in Colts. And it was just Justin had an extra cut in the bag that they did not see coming, right? Gilmore thought he had a pick six. Ended up being a touchdown. Mike Williams is that deep threat. Mike Williams is the big dude. Mike Williams is very similar to Mike Strawn, or not Mike Strawn, but Michael Pittman. If Pittman was just a hair quicker, right? Because Pittman doesn't have the speed that Mike Williams has, obviously. So whoever's covering him needs to have help downfield, safety over the top. That's the way I see it. Okay. Gotcha. Thank you. Thank you, Speed. I didn't realize that. Didn't realize that we had a troll. Just found it. Got rid of it. Don't come in here and troll. If you say you want the team to win because you want, or you want the Colts to lose because you want a higher draft pick, that's reasonable. That's understandable. I understand that. I'm not going to block you for an opinion of that nature. Okay. I don't want my team to lose, and the Colts don't want to lose. But defensively, it's going to be a little bit difficult. The Colts had a problem with Cook, right? Vikings, Cook. He had 190 total offensive yards. Now, Eckler doesn't have Cook's top end speed, but he is utilized very, very similarly, when it comes to running the football and passing out of the backfield with screens and things of that nature. The Colts have to have an answer for Eckler in this game. I think he's the big key. I think the Colts will have a field day. This D line for the Colts has been so damn good over the last few weeks. And it's not just been Buck and Stewart, right? Yannick Ngakoue has been coming out of his cage the last few weeks, right? He's been doing a lot better. It's nice to see Kwity Paye back, Now, Ifeadi Odenigbo was released this past week. Ifeadi Odenigbo was released this past week, and I'm kind of flabbergasted as to why. Jeff Saturday said it had nothing to do with Ifeadi, laying on top of the guy for the delay a game penalty. I don't know if that's fully true. I believe him in that situation in all actual honesty because of the fact that, one play, one situation doesn't get you released. It was a mistake. It was dumb. He shouldn't have done it. I think it's more of a personal issue. I think he probably mouthed off to somebody that he shouldn't have mouthed off to, or done something, or maybe he asked for the release. Maybe he didn't want to play for the Colts no more. I don't know. These are all assumptions. And that's all anyone can give right now, because I thought Ifedi was doing pretty good. I mean, he had that block punt that was returned for a touchdown in the same game this past week, right? So sucks that he's gone, but we have depth on the D-line. I love our D-line depth. We'll be fine. But yeah, here's this. I think our D-line is good. And I think our D-line is so good that when we send a blitz, it's almost always effective. I want to see more blitzing from Gus. We generally get pressure with just 4. If we could send 5, maybe 1 out of every 6 defensive plays, I would say that would guarantee, because we get a lot of good pressure early. Sending 5, that's like an overload. Because teams have been, last few weeks, teams have been doubling down on DeForest Buckner and Grover Stewart, leaving the left tackle one-on-one against Yannick Ngakoue and a tight end on Kwity Paye. Are you kidding me? You send another guy, there's no one to stop him. This is where safety blitzes, delayed linebacker blitzes, things of that nature, because we got speed at safety. We got speed at linebacker. Now, Kenny Moore was a master at these things, but he's not going to be able to play it, don't look like. Utilize our speed in these types of situations. You got to get pressure on Justin Herbert. I mean, Herbert can make some stupid plays out there. Don't let Herbert win the game, because the Chargers ain't afraid to go out there and say, 4th and 12. Go ahead, Herbert. Go ahead. Go for it. Because Herbert's better. Herbert has a higher completion percentage on 4th down than he does on 1st down. How stupid is that? How stupid is that? But it is what it is. All right. I appreciate you guys. I'm looking at the speaking of the Los Angeles Chargers, we hadn't went through their injury report yet. It looks to me like they're mostly healthy. Now, they've got guys on IR, as we all know, right? But it looks like Derwin James is going to be good. He was only limited on Thursday with a quadricep, but he had full practice today. Bryce Callahan, the corner, again, he has a groin, but he had a full practice. Everybody had a full practice today, except for Kamen Hall. Their defensive back. He's got a hamstring. Doesn't look like he'll probably play. He may play. I mean, we still 3 days away from the game, but he is dealing with a hamstring. But Sebastian Joseph Day, their big DT, he was full practice, and he's got a knee and a back problem, but he'll probably play. Looks like they're all good to go. We have 2 guys that may not play. But getting kind of difficult for me sitting here. I'm usually bouncing off of Loyalist this whole time. Been utilizing you guys. Well, you can't really do that when you're playing a zone. Okay. Now, that is a good thing. Now, if you are a spy on Herbert, yes. If you're spying Herbert, then yes, you can do that. But if you're playing just general zone, you can't leave your zone, because if you leave your zone to go blitz the quarterback, someone could end up walking in your zone, and then it's not only just an easy catch, but lots of yak yards afterwards, right? So you don't want to do that. But I get why you're saying it. I get why you're saying it. But whoa. Hold on. There it is. Sorry. I don't know where this came from. Herbert's not Hall of Fame quarterback yet. He hadn't played enough. He's played what? 2-3 years? That's nowhere near enough time. Anything can happen between now and then. There's been quarterbacks out there. Lots of quarterbacks start off well and then don't. I mean, is Andrew Luck going to make the Hall of Fame? No. He's not. No way. He hadn't played enough. He didn't have enough stats. Didn't break enough records. You know, it's way too early. When it comes to quarterbacks, you can't talk about Hall of Fame until at least year 7, year 8, no matter how good they start off. I'm just saying. I mean, anything can happen. It sucks, but anything can happen. You get injured, you could fall off, you could end up getting traded to the Broncos. You know, I mean, as of right now, as well as Russell Wilson played for the Seattle Seahawks, if his career ended today, he may not make the Hall of Fame. This is the truth of the matter. You know, the Hall of Fame, in all honesty, has become too easy to get in. This is supposed to be like the best of generations. And yet, you know, you got guys getting in that just are not the best of generations. That's just my thought about that. But we'll see what happens, man. I appreciate you guys being in here. It's been a little over 40 minutes. If you have not hit that like, please hit that like. Share this stream. There's your red share button right here underneath my mic. You can share it to your favorite social media or whatnot. If you want to donate to the channel, help us out. Christmas gift would be awesome. I'd appreciate that. Help out, maybe get some, seal up some of these cracks in my house. Whatever, you know, help me get some more good content out to you guys as well. You can use the donation link at the top of the description of this video, or you could use YouTube super chat as well. You know, appreciate you. But guys, I'll see if I could get another live stream going tomorrow. Definitely like doing this one. I think we're going to see something a lot different with Nick Foles this Monday night against the Chargers than what we've seen from Matt Ryan. Just because Foles can throw it deep. He does have an arm, and he's got a repertoire. He just holds the ball a little too long for my liking. But appreciate you guys. Until next time, I'm Lawrence Owen. This is Colts Law. Thank you all for joining. Hope to see you again tomorrow and then on Sunday for Christmas on my live game reaction there. And as usual, have a good one.
Just because a player's not a household name doesn't mean we can't make him a household name.
A lot of you may not want to win another game this year. I do, just for the locker room, just for that Colts locker room. Because if the Colts can get us a win streak going here soon, that means we have a better chance of keeping a lot of the guys that we have now and maybe getting some free agents this offseason. If not, we're going to be a laughing stock team and no one's going to want to stay here or come here. Just food for thought. Have a good one.